Welcome back. In this video, we are going to run a script to run both the front end and the back end at the same time. So let's get started. Remember, I'm inside my VS Code here, and in the previous video, we created this server file, this server folder, and we're able to run our server. Alright, so before we can get it done, we are not going to use any third-party package called concurrently to make it done, but instead we are going to make use of our knowledge in script, that is using package.json file to make it done, right? So remember, let's go back to my terminal and remember to cd into the server folder. And here, before that, let's install a package called mern. So mern is going to help us to restart our server anytime you make changes. So let me hit enter. Again, make sure you are inside your server folder. Cool. So it has finished installing. Next is, let's go ahead and configure that. Remember to cd into the server, but not this, right? So let's go to the package.json file. In the previous video, we had only one script here to run our server. So next is, let's copy that and paste it here. And next, let's make a syntax here and call watch. So this watch, we're going to use mern. So if you go back to my terminal and then make use of yarn watch, you're going to run. If you're using npm, going to be npm run watch, right? So watch here is going to use the mern. You can see that it's using mern to start my server. But if I shut down and make use of yarn start or npm run start, you see that you're using node to do that. We want to use node when you deploy this to deployment platform. Okay, so now that we know, let me bring this one here. Now that we know that this watch runs our server, the next target is we are not going to cd into the separate folders and then run both client and the server, right? So we're going to run one script to run both. So now let's come back to the package.json file. We're going to make this one to run the server. So how can we run the server inside this main folder here? Here comes the logic of script, right? Cool. And let me show you how we're going to do it in a simple way, right? So here, let's run our server from here. So let's leave this one. Let me rename this one as server. And next is, let's write some code here to run our server from this file. So I'm going to make use of npm run or yarn, whatever, but here I'm going to use npm. If you're using yarn, it's going to be yarn, just yarn without run. So npm run. And then run what? It should run watch. Remember, the watch is what we use in the server here, right? So you should run this script. But how can it run? It should go inside this prefix means that go inside this server folder and run this script as that, right? So let me save it and let's go back to my terminal here. Let me shut down the server and then let me go back one step. There we go. Remember, I'm now inside the main folder. Now how can I run it? Making us yarn watch, yarn server, right? I'm making yarn server here. Check it out. You see? First of all, is what is cd in npm run watch prefix server, and then it has run my server. That is crazy, man. You know, because you are not inside the server file, but I was able to run. So next is, how can I run React as well from this file without cd into this React folder, right? Using yarn start. The same process. So I'm inside the main package.json file here. So the same thing applies to yarn, applies to my client. So here, let's add one script called client. And this client, the same process, I'm going to use npm start. Remember, React use npm start or yarn start. If you look at the client, this client folder here, and inside the package.json file is using what? Start. Right, to run the React. So we're going to use npm run start or yarn start or npm start to do that. So here I'm going to use npm run start, right? And start what? It should start by going to the preface client folder, and then that is it. The logic is that you should run this script by going into the client folder, and whatever it sees that this script it should run. So now let me shut down, and I'm inside the main folder and make use of yarn client. Was it client? You see, it's running React for me. That is crazy, guys. You see that it's running React from that package.json file without seeding into the front end part. It's running. So now here comes the logic. How can we run both the two from here? So let's go ahead and do that again. Also, so now we're going to make use of what is called watch, right? So watch is going to run both the server and the client together. So let's add the script here. Let me show you how it's being implemented. So npm here, let me make use of watch. So watch is going to watch both the front end and the back end, right? Cool. I'm happy to see the effect now. So here you can implement this on your own. So first is that we're inside the main file. We're going to run this one and this one combined together, right? So here comes the code. So npm run what? Run my server. This one, run this server. So after run that server and then end, you do what? Yarn client, right? And then if you finish that, then you run what? The client. That is the key we use here. So run server and run client. So this code combines these two. So with that being implemented, let's go back to my terminal. All right, and then this time around, let me make use of yarn watch. Check it out. First of all, server and React. Server is running here. Let's look at React. React is also working here perfectly. So guys, this is awesome. I'm happy to see that this effect now. So as we proceed, we're going to add more scripts to deploy, right, the server and then the client at the same time. So now that we know that our server is running both the React and the front end without opening different terminal to run server and run client, we're going to do this to make our process faster. Alright, so next video we are going to implement the real logic in this application.